Alright, we're back. This time it's just me, and I'm just about to start a new project, so let me show you guys what I bought. So, about 2 months ago, I found these on Yahoo's Auctions Japan, and the fitment was good, so I knew I didn't have to rebarrel or anything. They're 17 by 9 plus 25, but they are SSR Longchamp XR4Zs. So they are a two-piece wheel, well, three-piece, but two-piece welded. So here's the weld, if you can see it, where the lip and the barrel are two pieces, but they welded together, and then the face. So I've already disassembled two yesterday. I was able to unbolt the faces from the wheel itself, and so the other two over there. Today I'm going to go ahead and hit them with stripper, with a citrus-based stripper. For some reason Home Depot didn't have the regular Aircraft brand, so I ended up going with this stuff. We're going to go ahead and spray the lips. The lips themselves are cleared in their machine. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the lips themselves, you can hear me scratch it. They're diamond cut, so I gotta take that out and sand them out. So the first things first, though, is I'm going to go ahead and strip them, and while those two strip, I'm going to go ahead and disassemble these two other ones. Alright, I know the lighting's bad, but I went ahead and sprayed these ones down. And I kind of forgot to tell you guys why I'm doing this. So the wheels, I want to go ahead and try to polish these myself. The faces, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet, but the plan is to go full polish on these and go ahead and strip it down, sand it, and then polish and buff out the metal to a nice, reflective shine. So that's the goal. Those two are sitting on with the paint stripper on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble these wheels. Alright, so my method of doing this, first off, milk crate. Milk crate is nice because I can spin the barrel while on the milk crate and be able to work on the wheel and whatnot. So yeah, get yourself a milk crate if you're going to work on wheels, because they make life easier. And then you got to find the right 12-point socket. This is kind of tough. I mean, there was only one in my whole toolbox. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and impact the back side, and actually switch this around. I'm going to impact the front side and hold the nut on the back side. So now that I got all the hardware out, the face needs to come out. But the face itself, see all that brake dust and grime over the last 20 or so years, all that stuff builds up and that face is not coming out. Like, even if I even stand on it with all my weight, that face isn't coming out of that wheel. So what I have to do is, or what worked for me was, I had a piece of wood. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the back of the spokes. And with a mallet, I'm going to tap the sucker out, and then the face itself should drop out from the actual lip and barrel. So that's what I'm going to do next. And then the hardware wasn't too bad. So the bolts themselves, they're not corroded or rusted or anything, so I definitely can work with them. I might just have to polish the heads of the bolts. That's going to be a pain in the butt because that's 120 bolts I'll need to polish and clean up. But it's better than paying, $1 or so bolt. But the nuts, I'm pretty sure I can just go to the hardware store and pick up some new nuts like this. It's either M6 or M7, and they should only be like 50 cents a piece. So I'll go ahead and get new nuts and try to clean up the hardware. Yeah, and that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out the face. This does take me a minute, so I'll show you the end results, but pretty much you're pretty much gonna put that wood down and bang it out with the mallet until the face falls out. Alright, so I slowly work my way around the spokes with the hammer and the piece of wood, and the face itself drops. So I'm gonna go ahead and lift the barrel, flip that over, and there's the face. So yeah, got one more to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and check on the wheels itself and see how the faces are doing. You know, it's kind of hard to tell, but I'll go ahead and rinse this off pretty soon. I'll go and work on that other wheel. It won't take me like 5 minutes to take apart the first wheel, or 10 minutes. This one's set a little bit longer. Okay, I'll be back. So I found out that the wheels themselves, they don't have any clear on them. So that's one less step I have to worry about. So I ended up just rinsing the stuff off, and I can go ahead and start polishing. The other two wheels, I took the faces out. They're just sitting there. They're still dirty, whatever. The barrels on the inside are still dirty. I haven't cleaned the wheels once, so I probably will do that tomorrow, and then we'll get to the sanding part. But for now, that's it, and I'm gonna call it a night. Alright guys, it's been about a week since I started my wheel project, and I didn't want to record me learning how to polish, so I went ahead and got 2 done, and I'm gonna show you my current progress right now. So let me flip the camera around. So I got 2 of these done. They're polished. They look pretty awesome. I'll talk about that in a second, how I got that far. This one right here has just been sanded all the way up to 2000 grit. So you can kind of see some small scratches, but nothing I'm concerned about, because I know that once I start to polish it, those will come out. Those are really just the 2000 grit sanding. It's really hard not to leave scratches when you're sanding in a circle. So there's that, and then I have my final wheel, which I just hit it with 180 grit. I still have to get inside the cracks because I can still see the machine line, so I'll have to get in there by hand. And then I gotta go ahead and sand this one all the way up, so that way it looks like that one. Sanding method, nothing crazy. I like using the where the valve stem sticks out as my reference mark, so I know where I'm sanding around the whole wheel, and like when I move it, 180 it, I know exactly where the valve stem is and what I have sanded and what I have not. That's how I get a nice smooth deal. When I'm sanding, I try to, I'm going back and forth. They like to say one direction, but I feel like that takes a long time. So I go back and forth, but I don't try to stop in the same area. So I'll go like this and go past those areas, so that way I don't create a hard spot where I'm always stopping, and I always go past it and so forth. And I like to do about half the wheel at a time, then flip it around, and then do the other half. And I do it in 3 steps. I have a small tool, let me find it. These contoured sanding pad thingies. Got it off Amazon. It came in like a 6-pack of different sizes, and it works really well on this curve right here. So this is kind of a lifesaver for me. Kind of stoked I found something that fit on this thing. It doesn't fit perfectly, but I sand this way, and then I go on the top and I sand that way, and that does the job. The rest of this is done by hand. The lips, I do it flat, and when I actually get to this part of the lip, I put it on the crate and I spin it, so that way I can put pressure down into the wheel as I'm rotating it. And then when I'm close to done, I'll just spin the wheel and leave my hand stationary to leave nice straight marks. As far as polishing though, to get them to look like this from this, I have an angle grinder. The angle grinder has what they call a router speed control or a fan speed control. What you pretty much do is any electric motor with this device, you plug plug the angle grinder into here. This goes into the wall, and this can adjust the speed at which an electric motor spins. So this not only works for fans, but any kind of power tools where you need to adjust the speed, because this angle grinder is like 12,000 RPMs, and they recommended buffing at around 1,500 to 3,000 RPMs. So I needed to adjust the speed down so that way I wouldn't burn through or cause any imperfections in my polishing. So 2 steps with this. There's 2 wheels on here. one for each type of compound. I'm using the brown and the white compound, and they come in little sticks. And so you put a little bit on there and you buff it. Let me also show you one other thing. Find it. I'll be right back. I gotta go find it. All right, back. And I just want to show you this. This is what they call a rake for a buffing wheel. And what you do is between polishing, you want to make sure that the cotton stays nice and fluffy. As you start to polish stuff, you'll get buildup from either the compound or the stuff that's actually coming off the wheel. And so as you polish, you're gonna want to clean the buffing wheel, because the cleaner the buffing wheel is, it's not gonna leave scratches, and you want to make sure this thing is mirror shiny. So keep this as soft as you can, and that's by running it on top of this. Just be careful how much pressure you put, because this thing will catch and this thing will go flying. So just be careful on that. But that's what you need, a rake for your buffing wheel. You can either use a wire brush, which I started with, but I'd hate if a wire brush bristle got stuck in my buffing wheel and then started scratching my wheel. So yeah, up to you, whatever you want to do. Okay, so after the two buffing steps, the third step I do is with a foam drill attachment and the good old Mother's Magnum aluminum polish. That's it. I really take 3 steps on this, and I go nice and slow, and I try to bring out as much of the mirror shine as I can. And the last step takes out most of the haze, and this is what you end up with. A nice, clean wheel. All the machine marks are gone. It's got a nice reflective color to it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna protect this with anything or if I'm just gonna throw wax on it. Maybe I'll clear coat it, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that's it for this episode. The second episode, I'm gonna show you me reassembling the wheels. After doing 2 and then trying to sand the rest, I was like, ugh, there's no way I'm gonna do the faces and go full polish on those. So I already sent those to the powder coaters. I'll get those back later this week. I still gotta clean the bolts. Still gotta clean up the center caps. Let me show you. So the center caps. They're anodized like gunmetal, and the sticker is a plastic sticker. I'm pretty sure I can polish out the sticker, sand this down, and give it a nice coat of paint. So that's my plan with these. Nothing fancy. I'm just gonna do these in my own garage. I'm not gonna send them off or get them powder coated or anything crazy like that. So yeah, gotta do the caps, and then I gotta clean all 120 bolts. I did find nuts. Yeah, did find a pack of nuts. These are in a 100 pack. I need 120, so I bought 100 of these in a box, and then an extra 20. They went for 4.5 cents a piece for M6 nuts. I brought one of the bolts to the hardware store. Figured out what fit, and then just bought a bunch of nuts. They are not exactly the same, but they do have a taper and a serrated edge on the bottom, so they should, work for what I need them for. So other than that, that's it for now. Until next time, we'll see the part 2 where I finish up these wheels and throw them on the car. All right, see you guys later.